All right, I'm going to call this meeting to order, and I have a few additions to our agenda. We're adding to the warrants for payment, Maple Hill Nursery. We're going to ask for a check for a new tree that was some fundraising donations, and the check not to exceed $500. We have the village sanitation project on West Street. Will be under correspondence for action and discussion. And we're going to add the zoning administrator's annual review, and we're going to put that under unfinished business. And with that, we have the minutes of May 9th.
I'll move that we approve the minutes from May 9th.
I second.
Okay, any discussion?
I'd like to add to the paving bid list. There was one name that we couldn't remember, so they didn't get, and that's Mitchell Sand and Gravel. So I'd just like to add that.
Okay.
We looked back at the TV recording and we listed all of those people, and Zeke said, and there was one that he didn't quite remember, so.
It's right here.
Okay, I'm going to just add that right there. Okay,
Is that it?
No, so, because you emailed me and told me to add Basin.
yeah, but I couldn't, Lee didn't remember
Okay.
Mitchell.
Okay, all right.
So that was,
Okay.
we knew there was someone else. Okay, any other discussion? Okay, so adding Mitchell, everyone, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, there we go. Then we have the warrants, 24, 24P, and the Recreation Board number 6.
So I would move that we approve warrants 24, 24P, Rec Board number 6.
I'll second it.
Okay, any discussion? All right, warrant 24 is for $35,920.97. We're going to add that $500 for the tree. Most of that, the largest payment went for salt, $8,554. We have our monthly health insurance, rescue payment, culverts from WW, and some chloride. Those were the major items under that. Any more discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. We have visitors and public comments, and with the board's permission, under new business, we have a request from the listers regarding charging late fees for HS122, the Homestead Declaration. And if you're willing, we can discuss that now, since some of our members here had come for that. So, any of you like to come up? Okay. So each year, the Homestead Declaration, where maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong at least. You set up whether you're paying residential or non-residential rates, and you have to fill out your HS122 form. Some people, just don't. They forget, or, that's the charitable thing to think. And they are charged a different rate, perhaps, or they're charged a non-residential rate.
Right, if they don't file it by April 18th, which is the due date, then they're charged the non-residential rate until they do file it.
Yes, and so some people file late, and they're hit, or they could be hit with a late penalty, late filing penalty, which would add injury to insult, really. We're trying to get them to file this. It's in the town's best interest that they file. So we're setting up a disincentive if we're going to fine them or penalize them to file.
Right.
So we've tried it both ways in the past years. And what seems to have worked best is when we don't have any penalty fee. But what,
And because in Dummerston's one of the few towns in the state where the residential tax rate is higher than the non-residential tax rate. So if we get them to file and then whack them with a penalty,
Right.
it's not pleasant to be in this office and answer the phone.
Are they not filing because of the benefit of?
A lot of people forget, or they have filed an extension for their income taxes and don't realize that they need to file this before their extension. We
But
did
they're
have
not
some.
trying to get away with having
I can think
residential
of
rate.
one family in town who does not file it because their income, and they know the game, that their income is too high for them to qualify for a state payment.
Mhm.
But we've gotten most other people to file now.
Okay.
That's great. That's progress.
Mm.
Well, would you like a motion?
sure.
Well, I'd like to move that we not charge late fees for the HS122 Homestead late filers.
I'll second that.
Okay, any discussion?
So is that what you would
Yep.
like to happen? Yeah.
It's not a late fee, it's a penalty.
Penalty for having
Filed late.
filed late.
Mhm.
Yes, thank you, Jean.
Okay. Any more discussion? All those in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay.
Thanks for your effort on that. I mean, it has been over the last couple of years, so I'm glad to hear that it's
Yeah.
proving successful.
It is, thanks.
Okay, then back to our regular programming, and unless you have anything else.
No, I just
Okay.
gonna hang out for a minute.
That would bring up our esteemed road foreman, Lee Chamberlain. Okay, he's known for his concise and brief appearances here.
That's the hope, anyway.
That's the hope. Yeah, that was, yes.
So I think we might as well do the paving bits.
What the
first,
heck?
right?
Oh, let's see, we got these.
Favorite.
Yes.
Oh, you found
Open.
letter opener.
A letter opener. Right.
This pretty one that doesn't need an opener, because you can just,
Okay.
just not lift.
Open, anybody like to open? I brought my shredder with me.
You're the one that ripped the letter.
Yes, I'm the
saying
one
You're
that-
not allowed
there's
to use this
Still,
anymore.
the restraining order is still in place.
Yes, exactly.
So we're going to open these tonight and then try to make sense of them over the next 2 weeks and then award a bid on June 6th. I mean, okay.
Okay, so,
So, yeah, you can take a look.
so what information do you want us to read?
How about price per ton?
Yeah.
Okay, so should I start?
Sure.
So I have Springfield Paving, price for paving by the ton, $63.61. Price for milling pavement, $1.70.
Okay.
For basins, it would be $64.50 per ton and $1.60 for the milling.
And I've got Lane. $76.65 per ton. And the price per million is $1.20.
What do you have?
Well, this is, I don't see where the company is for this. This is just the town.
Let's see. All right.
Is it on the envelope?
Actually,
Well, I saw it.
must be there someplace. We can,
Roadworks, Vermont Roadworks.
Where is that?
yeah,
Oh, yeah, okay. Vermont Roadworks.
okay.
It is $68.38 per ton and $1.48 for the milling.
Okay, so I have Mitchell Sand and Gravel. They're at $60.86 a ton. And then price per milling pavement. It looks like 50 cents. Is that? Looks like a 0.50.
Yeah.
Okay.
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 So is that everybody?
Yeah, yeah.
It's a lot.
All right, that was Mitchell?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, all right. And would you guys want to know the total tonnage too, or you want me to just, we'll make up a spreadsheet tomorrow and send it around to you on all?
I don't need anything.
Okay,
I mean,
all right.
yeah.
I didn't know if anyone had any interest.
I mean, you have to
in
get
that
a number
number.
out there to do that, you know what I mean?
Right, right.
Give them a number, I mean, it should be one.
Where was Basin?
It's,
Yes.
he's got it.
Right? Yeah. All right. We'll have our
Throw these back in the envelopes.
expert accountants take a look at this. Unless you want to take them home tonight? No.
Tomorrow we send it out.
Okay. So we will make sure we're, what's it called? Oranges to oranges,
Yeah.
apples to apples. Is that what it? Okay.
That works.
Yeah. Oh, are you all set?
I think so. I think, yeah. We'll look you over.
Thank
Okay,
you very much.
thanks for coming.
Thanks. We'll get back to you
Yep.
at our Gala Swedish Constitution Day. Selectboard
So
meeting
Warner
on
Warner
June
Brothers
6th.
didn't
No.
submit.
Thank you. See you later.
I did.
Did you get as many back as you'd wanted?
Yes.
Good.
I think we put it out to 6 maybe now, and 5 came back. One person didn't look at it, so there's actually drive the road with me. So we might have to exclude that one, but other than that, yeah, I think it worked out all right.
Good.
So you kind of have 4 to consider.
Yeah, I believe so. I did want to read the bid over one more time just to make sure that it's.
Good.
Was driving the road part of the bid or requirement?
I believe so, yes. It's usually you'll have to meet and look at the project. It's not like a pre-bid meeting where you have to, everyone's there the same day,
Yeah.
but you have to at some point.
And so when we make this decision on the 6th, you'll tell us what,
Right. because
kind of
if-
why you
Yes.
are choosing who you're
Yeah,
choosing.
we'll
And
have a
will you go over
spreadsheet
this with
maybe.
Hugh?
If he's around.
Yeah, he's around.
Yeah, we'll make up that spreadsheet, and it's gonna take me a minute to
Oh,
actually
absolutely.
figure it all out.
Yeah,
Because it's estimated tons for milling, so it's can vary a little from contractor to contractor.
you mean, how does it vary?
Because they need to put the profile back in the road. So if it's a flat road and they're milling 2 inches, then that means they have to either go 2.5 on the outside and 1 inch in the middle in order to get the crown back in.
But they're giving you a price per, right?
Per square yard, yes, or yes.
Right. So you know where they all fit in terms of,
Yes,
How
pretty
much?
good, I think.
yeah.
Yeah, I definitely have to.
I mean, they can't
Look at
change
them all.
those amounts now, right?
Right, the actual square yardage
Yeah.
can vary a little.
Right, I know, but they've
and the
given you a
tonnage.
price.
Yes, they can't change the price.
They can't change-
Right. The price per square yard and the price per ton will stay the same. Usually when they tell you estimated tonnage, they're pretty close, but a lot of times they're a little low.
Mm-hmm.
So you only have to pay for what they actually use for the asphalt. For the milling would be the same thing as if they only milled so many square yards. And I believe the machine calculates that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Good, we'll take a look at them and let us
Exactly.
know
Of course,
and,
they've all been doing it long enough, they're probably pretty close.
Right, exactly. And they don't want to bid high and they don't want to bid
Low
low either. So
Right.
it's usually pretty close. I mean, it's the one I saw was total price maybe of 63,000 or somewhere in there. And our budget is we have budgeted 95.
okay.
So it's all going to fall within within budget. It's just a matter of
Which one do you have? Mitchell, that was quite a bit
Well, I was
lower.
just,
It
yeah,
has
we didn't
basins.
say the total amounts, we just
Yeah.
said the price per ton and the price per square yard.
right. And I think they just did that math for us to give us sort of
A comparison,
right
Yeah.
the job price.
yeah, good.
So yeah, I think that's
Well, don't
That's
hesitate to
good.
get in touch with you.
yeah, right. Oh yeah, we will. It's yeah. I think he said he yeah. I talked to him yesterday or I think it was the day before. All right, so to get the West Village ready, we are going to have to replace a few culverts. There's also a catch basin over there that looks like we might have to replace it, and the outlet of it, the culvert, goes across a person's lawn like 150 feet, 140 feet, somewhere in there. So we are hoping to get a contractor to help us with that. I did talk with the homeowner and everything's good there to do the project.
So the culvert, or there's a pipe that goes through the person's yard to
Yes.
exit?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. In that section, there's a catch basin.
And so you have to do that work before the work can start for the paving?
Yes.
And is that a problem for your schedule and your crew
I
and?
don't think so.
Okay.
We're hoping to do all this work on West Street in the month of June.
Right,
And that is, we're hoping to rent an excavator because we have to stone line a bunch of those ditches up through there. And then we're going to, once we get done with that, we're going to just start in on stone lining other ditches.
And do these bids also talk about timeline?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you'll look at that as well?
Yeah, it's
In terms of how it fits in your,
maybe September 30th
uh-huh,
is the end. We usually tell them July 1st or July 15th the roads will be ready.
but, so your work is gonna be done in June?
Right.
Is that what you're saying?
Right,
The
right.
paving is
The
done,
prep
Yeah,
work.
the
Yeah.
prep work.
prep work,
Yeah.
okay.
So you're gonna have stone line ditches along West Street?
Yes,
Okay.
on the west side of the road. Quite a bit of it actually.
Are they stone line now?
No,
No.
no.
Is this part of the Act 64?
Yes, this will take care of that.
Yeah.
Good.
We're not getting actual
Good for you.
grant for doing
That's
it,
awesome.
but
Right,
pretty much everywhere we're gonna do is those areas. Besides, if there's a spot that we know is washing out, we'll do that
that's great.
also. Yeah, we've been spending a lot of money on stone, ditch stone.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I just think it's great that you're paying attention to those new requirements coming down
Oh, yeah.
and just doing the things the right way as you,
Yep.
rather than having to do them again.
Oh, right, right. I think that's hoping West Street will be all set when
Yeah.
we're all,
Yeah.
Right.
when we're all
Right.
done.
I just heard other towns kind of whining about all of those requirements.
Right.
And I feel like that's not what's happening in Dummerston. In Dummerston, we're like ahead of it. So,
Yeah, and we really never spent the money on stone line. So it's kind of actually nice to get some of these problems taken care of where we don't have to go back each storm.
yeah.
And what we were doing before wasn't working, so we gotta try something.
So I guess I have a question about when you do a project like this, how much communication is necessary or useful with the residents? Like, how do you let them know what's going on and what they can anticipate, and if they need to change their parking or
Yeah,
exit?
yeah, that's gonna definitely be an effect for this one, this project, the parking and stuff. But Lori, with the email, we have a yellow sign up at the shop also. We'll put out as a
We can send,
warning.
excuse me, we can send letters to people that I don't have email for
Yeah.
that live on West Street.
So you help with that communication?
Right,
to
she does.
people?
She does a
Okay,
lot
great.
for that kind of stuff.
Good.
Yeah.
I mean, West Street's kind of easy in a way, you know,
Yeah.
you could have
Right.
a bulletin board almost, you know, it's one of the easier areas
Right,
to
to notify.
deal with because it's,
Yeah, and they can
Everybody
just
around.
go out the other way, and
Yeah.
it's
right.
They
Yeah.
could go door to door.
We just want to
Right.
help not have people
Complaining. Yeah, right.
complaining
Right.
and upset and surprised and,
Yep.
yeah. Great.
I hope that doesn't happen, but
Yeah,
that municipal roads grant, that is the grant that we did last year for the stone line ditch. So that we're hoping to do in July.
Grants in aid program?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
and I think just Zeke needs to sign it.
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, 13,300 we can get. Would you like a motion on designs?
Well, I'll move that Zeke sign the municipal roads grant proposal.
I'll second.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, let's see.
So, we did, tomorrow we should be done with our sand. So we ended up around 4,000 yards. So that will be all paid out of this year, which is good.
That's what you use for the winter?
Yes.
4,000?
Yeah, for last winter, yeah. Which, yeah, I think it's 4,000, 4,500 or somewhere in there that we might use. So I would call it an average. The salt shed, as you saw, that's full. So that's paid out of this year too, so we're full for next year. I don't know if they're really in order, but I'll go down through the list. We did have on Waterman Road a 3x4 box culvert that the head wall had failed, and the state came down and looked at it, said that we didn't need to file a permit to work there, so they on the hydraulic study they figured it out, and it required a 5-foot culvert. So we are scheduled, that culvert is ordered. It's going to be 5 foot by 38 feet long. That's culvert's ordered, and that's for either the first week or second week of June. We have a contractor that's going to help us with an excavator on that project, and then we'll do most of the other work.
What's the diameter of the culvert?
5 feet.
5 feet.
Yep.
Wow.
Is that metal?
Yes, it's a poly-coated metal. I would, well, we're guessing, or we think it's gonna take 2 days with the contractor, and so Waterman Road will be closed at the north end when we do that project also.
So is it the same routine as we were talking about with West Street, just notifying people on the road?
Yeah, that yellow sign actually works pretty good.
Yeah.
We put it right at the culvert,
Mm-hmm.
and it's right on the days.
Can't miss it.
Right, and it's, we put it there, well, 2, 3, 4 days ahead.
Is that at the bottom of the steep hill?
Yeah, it's actually right by Cindy,
Yeah.
Cindy's there.
Yeah.
Yeah. it's one that we knew was, wasn't in great shape, but I did believe that we were gonna have to go through the state, but I was surprised when he came down and said we didn't, so happily surprised. Another project we have a contractor lined up for is hammering some of the ledge on East-West Road. These are those, I would call them dangerous spots, but down by Pam's old house on East-West Road, by Jacobs, those big boulders that are right beside the road. We're gonna actually remove those. And then there's a couple other large stones that are in the ground that they're gonna hammer out. And then if we have time, we're gonna go up on Hague Road and do a drainage ditch that we had talked about last year, but we ran out of time. And
What do you do with those big boulders?
it'll all be riprap.
Okay.
It'll be all, hopefully it'll be this big when we're done. So that's our goal also in June. Say June's gonna be busy.
When's your vacation, Lee?
Yeah, exactly. Not in June.
Yeah.
That's not.
We did end up ordering 2 backup cameras for the 1-tons. We just have to install them. We wanted to try them. And we did have a couple mishaps with those, so I think it's a good thing to have. It's just a matter of how clean they stay, or putting them in the right location. The new grader is in. So
Yes,
we
I
did-
went past it today.
yeah, we did get it. Everything seemed good. Yeah, I'm happy with it. It's, I haven't driven it yet, but so far so good. Thank you for allowing us to get that.
It was actually the townspeople that.
Yeah. Well, you voted too, right?
When's the
Maybe.
parade? When's the parade? Huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we have the fire truck too.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, I think the grader in the parade. Good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it looks nice now. We did get confirmation from the state. I called down there the other day that we got turned down for that structure grant on Stickney near Sunset Lake. So the plan is we'll reapply next year.
Okay.
The same thing. And I did let Jason know, so then he could fill in his summer work.
Right. How does that work? Will we have to send out a new RFP for that? Or do you just apply, and if it comes through,
Yeah.
the grant, the bids that were submitted?
We've never had to do this, but we did have it in there that they were eligible to, if they thought they could maintain the same price, then they could do the project.
Okay.
And then I guess if they said, concrete went up 5%, then we'll have to decide, whether we want to go through the whole process again, or if we think 5% is reasonable. And
Right. So if concrete went up for 5% for them, it'd probably go up 5% for everyone. Is that-
Right.
Yeah.
The price. But I think it was understood that that it was a 50-50 chance.
Yeah.
And, then he went down through the list of everything we got in the last 10 years, so it's like, well, I guess. So the other thing we're doing is taking down some dangerous trees. They started on Sunset and Stickney Brook today. This is a contractor. There's also a contractor taking down 2 on East-West Road. or one on East West Road, it's just a big maple. And that one there, the landowner is actually putting some money towards taking it down, because it does lean over their house also, but it's a hazard to the road also, so.
And then do you bring that up to the town garage and buck it up and have it
Yes,
for
whatever
firewood?
wood we can, if the landowner doesn't want it,
Okay.
we'll take it.
Mhm.
And then on Bunker Road, to get ready for that grant, on Bunker Road, there's one tree on it. They're in a different contractor, so we got 3 tree contractors hopefully working. Gonna take down that one, and then there's a couple more on Bunker Road, right where the pavement and the gravel meet. Yeah, that's my list.
A lot going on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard because I don't like spending money early, and then it seems like the end comes quick.
Right. Right.
We ought to just cut your budget next.
Right, right. Yeah, a lot of these, like the stone, will be over on the gravel because of the stone. During the budget, that's one of the things that I was thinking about, we should add to the gravel, so it doesn't look like we're spending all this money on gravel, because the stone is actually part of the gravel budget.
Okay.
And gravel or stone costs twice as much, so it doesn't take long to add up quick. Just so people know that it's, I know there was a question at town meeting this year about it. I just think that it's, stone is lumped in with gravel, and it can inflate it pretty quick.
Right.
So we heard that Henry is leaving,
Yes.
and we'd like to do a exit interview with him, so I wanted to ask you, like, what time of day would be most convenient for him? Or day of the week?
Yeah, I think, I don't think it really matters too much as far as, if you rather do it, at noon, or if you rather do it earlier in the morning, we'll just find the time.
Okay, so,
And you want me to check with him and see?
well, I can, if you don't mind, well, I need to look at Zeke and I will probably do it,
Okay,
and so we need to think about our schedules.
yes,
For me, first thing in the morning might be better than middle of the day, and
Yeah.
then his day is over, right, in what's my middle of the afternoon.
right,
probably.
right.
So,
Yeah, probably 1:30 would be the latest.
Yeah, so that.
Or if it's gonna be an hour long, they get done at 2:30, so.
Mhm.
um,
Okay, well, that gives me enough of a, and
Okay.
so should I work through you to set up this as opposed to directly with Henry?
That works for me, but,
Okay, that's fine.
okay.
All right, I'll look at my calendar and talk with
I'm
you.
not planning on being around on Friday, so, out
That's
of
fine.
town, so,
Mhm. Okay, well, we'll think about it
All right.
tonight before we leave and let you
Okay.
know what might work. Give you a couple options to
All right.
propose to him.
So given this list of projects and being down a person, is this, do you have people?
Usually it's the newest member of the Selectboard.
Right,
So-
start with me.
one guy dump truck.
You actually.
All right, hey, there you go. You don't have to say twice.
Yeah.
Really? Rachel, do you ever see?
No, no.
Trainer.
No.
Yeah, I'm hoping everything goes pretty good.
Okay. As I mentioned, this time of year, there's a lot of this type of work. People are looking for people to do.
Right, and this year we're splitting
Yeah.
it up amongst
Yeah.
different contractors.
Right.
So it's, hopefully we can, there's not really any huge project as far as money going towards one contractor.
Mhm.
So it's, I think it's gonna work out pretty good. And that's another reason for having that last warrant meeting at the
Right.
end.
Right.
Oh, right.
Just
yeah.
because it, I mean, we'll be right at it.
Good.
Okay.
All right, nothing else?
Yeah.
No, I do. Any other questions?
Nope.
Okay.
All right,
Well,
well, thank you.
Thanks, Lee.
Yep.
Oh, someone stopped me just to say how good a job on the roads
Yeah.
he felt you and the crew had done. He thought, when he was driving around other towns, he thought the roads here were in great shape.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything that's terrible right now.
Yeah.
That's a compliment.
Yeah, I know.
Thank
I know.
you,
Oh,
Lee. Thank
All right,
you.
well, I'll tell them thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, they're doing all right.
Thanks for your work.
Okay, well, moving on. Is there anything under correspondence for information you'd like to discuss?
Well, I wanted to just mention, so I didn't see the BDCC SeVEDS newsletter in the folder, but I did look online at that newsletter, and I just wanted to mention that the Southern Vermont Economic Development Summit is May 30th
30th, right.
at Mount Snow.
Yeah.
And I know that BDCC, the Brattleboro Development Credit Corps, and SeVEDS, the Southeastern Vermont Economic Development Strategy Group, have come and spoken to us. And they're very much behind this. And I think that economic development is the kind of thing that a small town like Dummerston wants to be coordinated with other towns to support jobs. You know, we talk about wanting our young folk to move back into the area, new people and our own children coming back into the area, and this is exactly the kind of thing that's going to help create that vibrant community that's going to offer jobs. So I just wanted to mention that.
Okay. Great. Anything else on that list?
Yeah, so did you have anything for us?
Did we ever get rebooked with the question about residential
No,
internet?
he's going to get back in touch with us.
Oh, okay.
And apparently Kevin Ryan is going to speak with him.
Okay.
He's sort of our resident
Right, expert on that.
expert, yeah.
Okay.
And the Wyndham Regional Commission hearing on town plan 6/5 at 6 p.m.
Yes.
Do we need to, does
That's,
somebody need to attend that?
Well,
or-
I think we can have Maria.
I think the planning commission's gonna
Yeah.
be
Awesome.
That's a planning,
It's
planning commission meeting, and of course, we're welcome to attend, as
No.
is anybody
I'm
from the
not
public.
looking for more
But,
meetings to go to.
Wyndham Regional Commission reviews all the town plans as they're approved, and then they may list things that they think should be.
Oh, so this is the Wyndham Regional Commission hearing on the Dummerston town
Yes,
plan?
yes.
Got it, okay.
And, they might make recommendations for the next
Yep,
plan, or.
wow,
or they-
okay, that's great.
They just see that it's in
Compliance,
compliance and compatible with other town plans.
okay, good.
Yeah. So that's at 6 p.m. on a Tuesday. That's the Tuesday. Okay.
Tuesday before the Swedish holiday.
Yes, yes. They're trying to squeeze it in there, I guess. Let's see. We added, let's see, I added so many things. Okay, the village sanitation project, under correspondence for discussion and or action. We have a letter of interest. 11 residents are applying.
11 residents on West Street.
Yes, and Leonard Road, some of them. Yes, this is their letter of interest. They're sending it in to, I think it's the Wyndham Regional Commission. they'd like to be considered for participating in this pilot study. And they're asking that the Select Board and the Planning Commission support their application.
Well, I would move that the select board support the letter of interest to Wyndham Regional for the pilot sanitation project.
I'll second that.
Okay, any discussion?
I feel like we should support it. I think it's a great project, and if we are awarded it, I think it'd be really valuable information to have about
Sure.
options for
Mhm.
that part of Dummerston.
Okay, any other discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions? All right.
So Jean, while you're here, do you have any thoughts about this pilot study or questions?
No, the only question I would have is when is the deadline? I thought they.
Friday.
Oh, this Friday, okay.
This Friday.
Yeah, I thought it was near.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Do you know how we're going to get
Yes,
this?
I'm gonna drop it off this night
Obviously, there must, I didn't, I'll look at that tomorrow.
tonight. Okay,
All right.
I'm gonna give it back to Sam tonight.
Oh,
But
so
you-
there's not a copy for the select board? In the select board?
No,
No,
this just came in. We
yeah,
could,
I can make a copy for
I
you.
was just curious who the people are.
Oh, here, take a look.
I'll give it right back.
Yeah.
Thank you.
all right. Let's see, under new business, we have dealt with the HS122.
Yep.
The covered bridge lighting. Stan Howe and a group of other residents worked on last Saturday to repair, replace, and reposition some of the LED lighting
Good.
that was, that's in the bridge and
Mhm.
wasn't working well. And they have a little bit more work left to do. He's been a great resource for energy conservation in town. And let's see, I asked him for the list of people who helped him. I know Sam Farwell brought them down a ladder. Calvin Farwell was there helping. I think it was Eric Lineback
Uh-huh.
was helping.
Who's on the energy committee, yeah.
And I did mention Stan Howe, and one other person, I think we'll have to have a special meeting once I remember, so we can acknowledge this last person. But all the energy committee members were active in working on planning this and executing it. And if it comes to me, I'll let everybody know who that last person was. Oh, we have, let's see, a rescue contract someplace, which I know it's a green folder here, among the other, there, look at that. Okay, so each year, we renew our contract with Rescue. I think they're increasing their rate just a little bit this year. Is that your recollection, Maria?
I think so.
I think so. And so this will provide comprehensive emergency medical services, business practices for billing, and it's the assessment is based on population, and it is going to be, this is the budget that we voted on at town meeting, $43,449.84, or $3,620 a month. So right now it's $3,533 a month.
And it's interesting to note that it's a little more than $23 per person.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So.
And what was the rural, there's something in the letter that they got back, the federal Medicare rulings for the rural add-ins. I didn't know
I
what that
think
was.
they've had trouble getting Medicare reimbursements.
And so they had to wait till that happened to be able to give
Yes,
us the,
yeah. And I guess they got a favorable ruling, and so, and that was renewed for a 5-year extension. So that was good news for them and for us.
rural
By
add-ins.
extension.
Okay. Well, I'd like to move that we sign the renewal contract for Rescue Inc. for the town of Dummerston.
I'll second it.
Okay?
Yep.
Any discussion?
My only question is, since that we already voted on this in town meeting, but we just now got the actual figure,
Yes.
was the amount that we voted
They,
on?
yes, it
covers
was,
what
it
we're
was
actually
the
gonna pay?
same. This, they let
Okay.
us know
Okay.
in December that they
Okay.
were going to have a slight increase, and that's
Okay.
what they anticipated it being,
Okay.
so.
So the
we-
budget
We
reflects that.
voted for this, so this has, the amount has been approved by town
Okay.
meeting. So this is just sort of finalizing and the actual contract.
Okay.
Okay? Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, and let's see. I'll just sign that. Print. Same thing, but. All right, okay, moving right along. Oh, here's the part of our show.
Yeah. Do we want to, we have a visitor that
Yes.
came in? Do we want to, before we,
Chris
Recess.
Olson was a candidate for Conservation Commission, and here we were, all dressed up before the meeting to have an interview, and that bus has left the station.
All right. Yes, I apologize for not being here before. My reminder did not remind me, and while I was out with the goats, I remembered. So I came right over here. But
All right, oh, I appreciate
certainly
that, but we'll reschedule.
great. All right.
so we can't do it now?
I think we're already in our meeting, and so we
Sure.
usually
That's
don't
not something we
do
do at
that.
our meeting.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Could we do it at the end of the meeting?
Protocol.
Let's just wait, or no?
What would you like to do?
I'm happy
I'm
to
fine with that.
wait. I'm happy to do it after our meeting if you're up for waiting for a little bit.
Yes, certainly.
Okay, all
Would
right,
that be all right?
This is
Okay.
pretty fun to watch, so.
all right, we'll
We'll try to move right
Yeah.
along.
recess our meeting,
All right.
or no, we'll adjourn our meeting and then.
I'd like to move that we recess the select board,
Oh, right,
Oh.
yes, go right
yep,
ahead.
and reconvene as a liquor board.
I'll second
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All
We
right,
have our liquor board hats on.
okay. Or, since Chris is here, there's a 6-pack of beer in the.
We're on TV.
Oh, God. That must be under new business too. All right, so this is a request by Whetstone Station Restaurant and Brewing. They are going to cater an event at the Scott Farm on June 16th at 5 p.m. and they list 10 p.m., but I know that it's only going to go until 9:30. What would you like to do?
I'll move that we approve the application for the special event permit for the Whetstone Station on June 16th
it.
from
Is it a
5 to
special event
9:30.
permit or is it liquor?
Well, it's actually a special event permit, but I think it's meant to be a liquor catering, is what they're actually asking for.
I'll second that.
Okay, any discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Is that the only request we have?
Yes, we have one
For next meeting?
for later on, but that
okay, that
arrived
came in late.
late.
All right.
So,
Then I would like to move that we recess as the liquor board and reconvene as the select board.
I'll second it.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Well, that was always fun to do. Let's see. The listers are working hard to get the grand list information into the state, but they have they've been working with just 2 listers, sometimes just 1 lister lately, and have Michael Silverman just joined them, so they're a little bit behind, and they'd like this grace period. And that's not it. So they're requesting a 30-day extension
From the state.
from the state, but they need the select board to approve that. Is that about accurate?
Would you like me to speak on that?
Only if you'd like to.
I don't think we're gonna need it, but it's just a precaution, because we are really quite
Down to the wire.
near the end.
Right. I'm fairly confident you're going to pull this off
I'm
in a
hoping.
timely way.
I'm hoping.
I know, right, if I were working with you, I know I'd have to. I wouldn't be able to
Yeah.
take
know,
long
I'm a slave
coffee breaks
driver.
or anything.
That's what I told Michael in the very beginning. I said, I'm a slave driver. He loves it.
I think the word had already gotten out about that. That's not news.
He's wonderful. He's just wonderful.
Oh, good. Oh, that's so
Just-
great, Jean.
yeah,
Really
just
glad that you've
really-
got a good partner.
Very, very pleased.
Good, good. Well, I would move that the select board signed the 30-day extension request to the state for the Dummerston listers.
I'll second that.
Okay, any discussion?
Seems reasonable.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Well, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Yeah, I'm signing so many things.
I know, it makes you feel so important.
Right. Okay. Let's see, what else do we have? Okay. So, the state, let's see, I think it's chapter 23, BSA 1007. It provides the town an opportunity to have an ordinance so that we approve or adopt the speed limits on the state highways that the state has set. And it allows the town to receive a portion of any speeding or traffic tickets that are written on those state roads. So it is a source of income for the town. And back in 2003, there was a public hearing on May 14th. And this ordinance was apparently approved because the minutes then state that it was approved. But when we went to actually put our hands on the actual ordinance, it has disappeared. Or it possibly wasn't put in the file that holds all our ordinances.
And all the ordinances are listed online too, so it's not there.
No. It's a mystery.
So does this mean we're not getting our portion of the?
No, possibly not from the state police, but the sheriff is under the understanding that this was done.
Okay.
The state police would like to have the actual hard copy of the ordinance. And so since we can't find it.
Produce it, yes.
Yes. I'm not saying who suggested it, but there was a discussion about, well, if we could find an old typewriter from that era, we could type this up. But that was not followed through with. And so the right thing to do would just be to set a date for a hearing. We need a 15-day warning. We'll have to advertise it, and then we'll just essentially re-adopt this ordinance, and maybe even that same evening, put it in the ordinance book,
Right.
so it gets there.
Okay. Can we do that in coordination with a meeting?
Yes, we could
and
do,
all of
I
that,
would,
so
I
it's
would,
not
I
like
would
a
think
separate meeting?
this would be maybe 5-minute meeting.
Yeah.
If Sam Farwell
Perfect.
came, it would be, we could maybe count on 20 minutes or, but I don't think that will be of interest to him. So
Okay.
I'd budget 5 minutes for this.
Okay, good, perfect. Let's do it.
Okay, a motion to that effect?
Go ahead, Rachel.
I have a question though.
Yes.
Before I make a motion. We had also been digging around for an ordinance about idling, which we determined there wasn't one.
There's a resolution.
There's a resolution out of ordinance. Is that something that we could combine efforts if we're having this meeting, or does that have to be totally dealt with separately?
That's a good question. Probably,
I think it should be done separately.
yeah, let's do
Separately,
it separately.
Okay.
Let's get that back to the apples.
Okay, so back to the speed
Oranges.
limit. Okay,
Okay.
so I'll make a motion that we set a date for a hearing for the ordinance, what's it called?
Okay, State of Vermont speed limits.
Okay, for the ordinance of the state of Vermont speed limits on state highways.
Great.
I'll second that.
Okay, any discussion?
Are we actually gonna set a date?
Yeah, let's do that. We need to have 15 days. We're going to meet on the 6th of June, we're going to meet on the 20th. Do you want to say the 20th of June?
Mm-hmm.
Would that be,
Yeah.
because we've got to get this into the newspaper.
Right.
Okay, June 20th.
What time?
Let's see, we'll start our meeting at 6. Do you want to say 7 or do you want to say 6:30?
Probably 7.
Okay, all right.
So we'll do it after our select board meeting.
All right, unless it's a long meeting, unless, we'll interrupt Lee to,
Yeah, I don't.
Recess
yeah,
to-
Hopefully that will be
Okay.
the case.
all right. Okay, so I guess that's sort of a friendly amendment. All right,
Having set the date.
yeah,
Yeah.
all right. Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
And if, by chance, we move some furniture around in the other room and find this ordinance, then we'll find something else to do with our time. Okay, great. All right, so we've got to table that one about appointing a Conservation Commission candidate. And then we had a request from a candidate for state office, wanting some time to introduce himself and give us a rundown on his why he's running these positions. And I contacted VLCT about how we should conduct those. They referred me to the Secretary of State's office, who suggested that it probably wasn't a good idea to do that. And probably the best thing to do would be to have just a policy that said, no, we're not going to have public time for candidates to introduce themselves at our select board meetings. There is going to be at least one public candidates forum in our area, so.
So when you say you want a policy, should we add that to our policies, or just kind of in general, we know that that's not something we entertain?
I'd say for this board, maybe another board, after a town meeting, and maybe another board will want to go out onto that thin ice
Actually making a policy.
no, just, saying, yeah,
Entertaining the
sure,
idea.
Oh, okay.
anyone can come. But if we want to say, the safest thing to do, according to the Secretary of State, was just to say, no, we're not going to have any candidates, we're not going to put them on
Yeah,
the
I
agenda,
think that's a good idea.
okay?
Good.
So we can, I don't know if we need a motion or if just the understanding that that's going to be what we do this
Yeah,
season.
just the understanding that that's our
Yeah.
protocol.
Okay, so I'll get back to this person. Then we have unfinished business, and this would be the zoning administrator's annual review. You wanted to address.
Yeah, so I will offer to speak with Hugh about the timing of that. Hugh is the person that is leading that. He's not here tonight, so I need from Hugh the date that he's going to meet with the zoning administrator, and then we'll schedule a conversation with that Hugh will lead with the select board, and then we would meet with Roger. And, that would be the annual review process.
Mhm.
So I'll follow up on that.
Okay, great.
Is that a meeting with the entire board? A review with the entire board, or just?
It's a conversation with Hugh will share his conversation with Roger and give us a sense of, what the responsibilities are and how things are going and that sort of thing. And then we'll meet with that information in hand and that conversation being had, we'll meet with Roger. And both of those things will be in executive session because they're personnel matters. And they could be on two separate meetings.
Okay, great. Okay, any other unfinished business? Okay, under other business, I attended an emergency management training on the 12th. It was very good, very informative, and they do have shorter sessions trainings that would be, they list them as a 2-hour training. And I wondered if, just to have everybody have some background in this, if we wanted to see if Vermont Emergency Management would do a training for us.
Just for the select board?
Yep, or, anybody else in the town office.
And that would be Rich Cagliano might
Probably.
do something
Yep.
with us.
Yes.
I'd be up for that.
Would you want to say do it on a Wednesday, on one of our off Wednesdays?
Would be okay with me. I mean, are
Rather
you
than-
talking like an hour?
They list it as a 2-hour session. We
2-hour
could maybe
session.
let them know that our attention span is only,
Well, no.
but, so.
How soon are you thinking of doing this?
I would say let's do it sometime before volcano season, which is later.
Okay, because I prefer if we do it after school's over.
Okay,
As a teacher.
sure.
Yeah,
I'm still worn out from that meeting last Saturday, so I could,
yeah,
okay, so let's, maybe something during the summer.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah,
okay,
we
great.
have a picnic, we can go afterwards. All right, so I'll get back in touch with him, get some dates. Is there any other business?
Nope.
Well, okay,
I move that we adjourn.
I'll second it.
all right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.